My consultant did not realize that there would be respiratory problems with my type of muscular dystrophy, known as FSH, although I was checked out once a year by him. 10 years previously, when I was taken into hospital with heart failure for the first time, it should have been noticed. I needed respiratory care, but no one knew. In hindsight, my consultant and I learned something from the experience. It's been a learning curve for everyone involved. In 2009, I was taken into hospital with heart failure yet again. After a considerable struggle with varying drugs and water extraction treatment, the battle for my life was being lost. The two people who saved me were my physiotherapist and my respiratory nurse. They insisted that I should be put on a BiPAP respirator. They said it would enable me to breathe normally at night. They said it would oxygenate my body as my lungs breathed too low while I slept. I needed a way to rejuvenate my oxygen levels overnight. And today I'm here with you to prove it. I survived and at present live as fit and active a life as anyone could with my condition. Thank you, National Health Service. My mother had the same condition and was taken into hospital 11 years ago with heart failure, just like me. But there was no physiotherapist or respiratory nurse that night. And because of the lack of sophisticated breathing equipment and knowledge, sadly she died. There are lessons for all of us. I've got a little list. It is important to have a program of various preventive care treatments and exercises as early as possible during the onset of the condition. For someone like me, preventive care saved my life. Physiotherapy at the onset, right from day one. Respiratory treatment straight away. The key point is to introduce it sooner rather than later. It should be brought in as part of the plan before there is any great deterioration. An exercise regime in all forms: breathing, electric pedal machines, access while sat in your wheelchair, and other similar strategies. Hydrotherapy, keeping circulation going, is the biggest strategy towards good health, especially if you were sat down all day and with the added inability of having no upper arm strength to give relief to bottom fatigue. The wheelchair I needed for my condition and quality of life could not be provided by the NHS because of budget restrictions. So I raised the money, £17,000, myself, with a great deal of help from my friends. We bought the chair that will give my condition the best facility. Here is the public-private partnership bit and my sponsor's message. It's a Boulder F290. That was 10 years ago. My chair is getting tired. I applied for an NHS chair. They claimed it had all the features mine had, but the seat raiser, an essential tool for my condition, was an extra. And if I wanted it, I would have to fund it out of my own pocket, another £900. I sold a painting gifted for my birthday 15 years previously. The auction did not raise the roof, but it did give me the seat raiser. After taking delivery, I immediately started using my new chair. It was difficult to control and maneuver compared to my Boulder. I bruised my legs. Transferring the leg and footrest are complicated to remove. On one occasion, I didn't raise the footrest high enough on a gradient and knocked one off. The replacement took 3 weeks. I had to deliver the chair to Blackwood, a 200-mile round trip, twice, and collect it when ready. I was not provided with a replacement chair during the repair. The chair would slide sideways on a pavement if there was a camber. After using it for 6 weeks, I had to find my own solution. I have bought another second-hand Boulder F290 with help from the Muscular Dystrophy Wheelchair Fund, but finding the 50% of the cost myself. I receive direct payments to enable me to live independently, but have to contribute £300 per month of my DLA towards my care. while having needs outside my direct care that I must fund myself. These extra amounts, which include electric to charge my chair. There is no NHS service contract to keep my chair running. I need an extra large vehicle to transport me and my power chair, and so on. So how do I see things? I generally feel the level of disability endured by people of my condition or the like require a larger financial consideration on the onset to enable people like me to live as ordinary a life as possible. The mobility payment of £50 per week should be at least doubled in severe cases, no question. We should have personal budgets, no question. I endorse Boulder wheelchairs as the only appropriate wheelchair for anyone with a condition as mine, and I don't mind saying so. They should be available through the NHS, no question. We all have our entrances and exits, and my time is nearly up now, but I will say something before I finish. The lack of sufficient income to enable me to live as normally as possible during the onset of my disease bankrupted me. I lost my house and livelihood. There was no counselling. No one told me how deep the water was and how deep it would get. My GP assumed I knew everything about the state I was in and that I knew what was going on. I didn't know everything. I had to learn it the hard way, the very hard way. The physiological and psychological damage that I have endured by not having the right facilities and treatment and counselling has most certainly cost the NHS dearly. There have been many unnecessary hospital admissions. I have been left with a permanent heart condition. There have been massive ongoing costs that could have been prevented. So what do I say at last? Thank you to the NHS for saving my life. Thank you for the bankruptcy court for hearing my case. Well, at least they had a ramp. But most of all, thank you all for taking the time to hear this story. I have a contribution to make to society, and I am here making it today. All I ask is that people of my condition, and the many people like me are here, and our need to have the tools to do the job is recognised and acknowledged. Last of all, preventive care works. It is cost effective, it saves lives, and it enables people like me to talk to you here today and celebrate our democratic right to be part of this Welsh Government. Thank you for listening.